Tell me about your barbering career, how you got started, and how you got to become an instructor to where you are now.
I started out in the kitchen back in 1987. I was a little child in the kitchen. My granddad used to call all us in there to cut hair. And so ironically, I know y'all probably laugh at me, I got a pair of clippers what my granddad used to use. These are like very vital to me. He had a pair like this right here that y'all don't know nothing about. And he used to grab my head, and they weren't lined up like these. The blades were where they'll pinch you. He used to grab my head and jam them into it. He used to cut it bald all the way around the side. And I shouldn't say nothing, but I did. And one day I said something, he jammed them a little closer. He left a bowl all around my head. And I said to myself, if I ever get old enough, I'm gonna learn how to cut hair. Therefore, I won't have to go through this situation. So I started playing with these as a little boy. And as I got older, my grandma bought me a pair of clippers from Family Dollar Store. And we went to TWL and got me a pair of liners. It was a store called TWL, Take What's Left. And I started practicing on my own here. And from there, my grandfather saw that I had a love and passion for cutting hair. And he started letting me cut his hair. And from the kitchen to the streets, I started cutting hair. I went on from there. After I had a little incident and went to prison and came out, I enrolled in a school called Traxxer School of Hair. It was a barber college. I started cutting hair there. And you know, like most barber colleges, when you go there, you don't have no type of instructor or instructors that's gonna really teach you anything. So I took it upon myself to dig deep, and I ended up getting my barber license. And at that same school, I ended up becoming an instructor. I started getting paid without being an instructor, and I went on back and got my instructor license. And that's where I am today.
What does Hopeful Barbershop mean to you?
Hopeful Barbershop means a great deal to me. Matter of fact, it's something that's been living in me for a long time. When I didn't have no hope, it's people that reached out a hand and showed me where there's no hope at all, hope is there. And I realized that with hope, you can bring about anything. And Hopeful Barbershop is a name that I came up with when I didn't have hope, but now that we are establishing this establishment, Hopeful Barbershop means a great deal because it's unlike any barbershop that you will come to. We really take pride in what we're doing. We're bringing back the professionalism in barbering. It's just not about the money. You know, a lot of people have barbershops, and I'm not knocking those barbershops, but with Hopeful Barbershop, we're trying to allow people to realize that in this time and day and age, you want a professional cut, a nice cut at a reasonable price. And that's what Hopeful is trying to offer.
What do you want to tell us, aspiring barbers right now, young guys who want to get into this business? What do you want to share with them?
I would tell any young man that's striving for the betterment to learn the academics of being a barber, learn the professionalism of being a barber, and don't just look at it as a job or a hustle. Look at it as a professional business, because a lot of people take it out of context. They just look at the almighty dollar and they forget about the client that's hiring you to cut his or her hair. The client is hiring you as your boss, that temporary boss right then, because if you don't do a quality job on that person's head, he or she, that person will be very upset and not come back. You want to set a legacy of producing and putting out great cuts and great styles of hair.
$1 bill, y'all.
before I became a Christian, I was running astray. I was back and forth trying to find myself. I grew up in a broken home without a mother or father, and kept on trying to find love in all the wrong places, so I joined an organization. And once I joined the organization, they had me to believe, they misled me to believe that this was the place to be. We did a little bit of everything. We, went from banging to robbing to selling drugs, but that wasn't the life for me. But I kept on going until I got in some trouble. And once I got in trouble, there was some people along the way when I went to prison, Mr. James and a couple more brothers that helped me to know that Jesus was the way. And at that time, I didn't even believe in Jesus. I didn't want to hear that Jesus mess. But then, after so long, after him teaching me how to read and understanding the word, and after Jesus gave me a second chance, I came to know him. I began to love him, and I became him.
Come on in to Hope for Barbershop, where you get the best for less with no stress.
One of our visions for Common Ground, as we look at the 5 core ministries, was to take the thought of doing outreach and do expansive, comprehensive Christian community development. We have a wonderful opportunity to do that with our 4203 West Capitol Street Barbershop here. And so right now I want you to come inside for a little sneak peek, sort of a little before picture of the barbershop, because we want and need your help. Come on inside. About 4 years ago, this was Resurrection Barbershop within this neighborhood community. It was a nice barbershop. It was one of the places where the neighborhood and the community came to dwell. It was one of the places where people could talk. It was one of the people could relate, where people would get counseling right here at the barbershop. We want to see that reemerge, but really and it was a great Christian expression, but we want to see that reemerge right here within the neighborhood and community, and we want to do it through the church. And so we're asking those to come in and help us take this place to the next level. Help us make this place be the place that we believe it could be. Hopeful Barbershop and Beauty Salon. And so right in here, we plan to have 4 salon chairs right here, barber chairs right here within this space here. And as you come this way, we also plan to have 3 other chairs within this space here. We plan to develop this space out to be a 4-chair space, to be our VIP barber place. As we continue to develop this space here at 4203 West Capitol Street, we need your help. We need you to donate a chair or barber equipment. And so that Angel Tree is there with that in mind. And so if you would please help us to make this barbershop, Hopeful Barbershop, be the place that we know it can be. Hope within this neighborhood and this community. Right now we have a view across the street, West Capitol, Hopeful Barbershop. Right now we're looking at these shoes. These shoes represent a drug stop. These shoes represent drug traffic. These shoes represent what this neighborhood is, the highest violent crime area in Jackson, in our city, in Hines County. With your help, we can make a difference. Common Ground is attempting to make a difference by doing a social enterprise right here. We need your help. We need you to help us storm the gates. No longer does this place have to be the place that
highest priority because we can make a difference right here, one family, one child at a time.